other player, it looked like Bisu was maybe checking that top left for a hidden base, but I think he should know that there is not a hidden base right now for Modesty. He's got a pretty good grasp of all the timings. We do have a DT out. Now, a Scourge also flew over that. Now, if Modesty was watching that Scourge, who knows if he actually was. He would have seen that DT, and he'll be prepared to fight against it. He's actually got Speed Overlord, so that is very, very good by Modesty. Probably saw the early Templar archives with his Scourge and got that speed upgrade as quickly as he can, which is definitely a really good idea. Allows him to protect his Overlords from Corsairs better, and most importantly, allows him to keep his Overlords with his army to defend against DTs. We're seeing Bisu's first-person view here as he's trying to micro all of his force around, and if you just like, he hasn't done it quite yet, but I've seen first-person views before of Bisu where his hands are just flying so quickly, his screen is changing so much. I feel like I'm gonna have like an epileptic seizure. I don't even know how he like handles it. His multitasking is just so ridiculous. And one of these DTs being caught out in the middle of the map. Good job by Modesty actually finding out where that was and able to actually not able to quite pick it off, being forced to retreat here as the DT runs away. We have a lurker opening here as well. Got a lot of lurkers out in the field. Looks like 6, maybe 8 lurkers, and they are definitely going to be very, very effective. We haven't seen a robotics facility yet from Bisu, so he's going to need some really, really high-quality storms here to fend this off. He's trying to pick off a lurker before it's able to burrow, unable to do so. Now this is going to be a really strong contain here, and Bisu's going to need some gray storms. That's a good one right there, catching 4 or 5 hydros and damaging a lot of them as well. He needs more storms. He needs some. He needs more forces in general. He's got some dragoons in the south as well, where he was setting up his base in the 6 o'clock position, and actually he was able to pick off several of the lurkers that marched in very, very close to the gateway. I believe that was a severe misplay by Modesty. He had about 6 or 7 lurkers, and he set 3 up in a normal contain spot, and then he sent 3 of them very, very close to that gateway, and they were picked off. Now that, I believe, was a huge error because his contain isn't as strong as it could have been. Another 2 or 3 lurkers in that area would just be absolutely devastating. We see a lot of Overlords being brought up by Modesty as well. He might actually be going for a drop, which would also just put so much pressure on Bisu. We see the gateway has fallen, and the High Templars are at risk, getting some good storms off. We got these Overlords just crowding around, just obscuring the vision of what's going on, but it looks like most of the Hydros have gone down. We got a couple Dragoons left, no storms left, though, and that's going to be really, really key. There aren't any storms left, but here's a secondary force from Bisu coming in from behind, and finally he has an Observer out as well, so he's going to be able to clean this up very, very efficiently. Bisu, with that well-timed Observer, is able to clean up all of the lurkers, although it looks like that Observer went down, but just a little bit too late. The Observer goes down after the lurkers are already dead, so now Modesty is just in for a world of hurt. His lurker opening has done not that much. It has not done what he needed to do. He needed to hold Bisu into his base and really establish a contain and gain himself time to macro up a significant force. We do see some Hydras coming down here to the 6 o'clock position trying to pick off this base, and a Lurker Egg, well-placed Lurker Egg, actually may allow him to do so, although it looks like, nope, never mind, there's more reinforcements coming from the other direction for Bisu, so he's going to be able to save this base, and that's going to be another half-dozen squandered Hydralisk by Modesty. Not in a bad play, I would say, but just in an unfortunate circumstance that he wasn't able to do as much damage there. He was very, very close to actually being able to pick off a lot of those probes. Unfortunately, Bisu saw it coming and was able to bring forces in from the other side. It was a good idea by Modesty, just was not to be, and I think we're going to see Modesty fall here very, very shortly. I don't think he's going to be able to push this attack by Bisu back. Finally, an Overlord or an Observer coming into position should maybe let him kill the Lurker. There's 1 Lurker left for Modesty, but Modesty really, his map presence is very, very low, and they're on equal base count. Not very pretty right now. We got a DT going to the top left, going to scout out that base that's being attempted to be thrown up, and yeah, this is not looking well for Modesty at all. He's got a lot of lurkers out here in the field, but there's Dragoons to counter it, and even a couple Zealots still left in the front. And Bisu, just with this many Dragoons, he's just going to be fine in terms of just finishing this up. You've got some High Templars coming from behind, and I think Modesty realizes the trouble he's in, so he's going to pull his lurkers back and maybe try and just hold out, it seems, right now, but he's just not able to contend with Bisu's army right now. And we got this DT hacking away at the hatchery at the top left, and it's going to be a while before Modesty can really afford to send some units up there, and I think that hatchery is going to be forced to be cancelled. not going to have much of a chance of survival here. Looks like Bisu's also trying to set up a base at the 3 o'clock position, going to try and get to a 4th base. And that hatchery actually warps in, and that hatchery is going to go down. I think that DT, oh, that DT, is it going to live? Is it going to live? It does. 5 HP left. It's going to kill that hatchery. That is awful for Modesty. That's a loss of 300 minerals that he desperately needed. And we got some lurker eggs that might actually be picked off before they can morph in. And a storm almost picking off a lurker. There's just a little bit more damage needed. We got a lot of observers for Bisu. That is way too many observers for Modesty to pick off. These lurkers are not going to be very effective. Good storms coming in here, and some good picking off by the dragoons, getting those last couple shots that he needed on those lurkers after the storm. And storm going down right in front of those dragoons. Is a pretty well placed storm, but I think he only actually did damage to one of his own dragoons. Other than that, that storm was only hitting Zergling. So some good micro there by Bisu as well. And this game is just about over. It's just looks like Modesty's actually pulling off drones, but it's not going to matter. Bisu is going to move on to face the winner of Baby versus Luxury, and we'll be going on to that set next. Modesty is going to go to the losers match. He is not out of it quite yet, and in particular, I think if Modesty can get a matchup with Luxury, I think that would give Modesty a pretty decent chance of getting into that final match. If he has to face Baby, I think it's going to be tough for him, but we'll see what happens here. We're going into the next set. It's going to be Baby versus Luxury.